Hey all, and welcome back to the HFC playthrough of Pokémon Legends Arceus. As we can see, we are dressed to the nines, and plenty of stuff going on around Jubilife right now. Most notably, I caught a Sin Against God. Check this out.
Jesus fucking Christ! I've seen the screen caps of the alpha Pokemon that are bigger than you might expect, but every time I see a new one show up, it just takes me back all over again.
That's the Luxio that we tackled earlier on in the playthrough. I went back, caught it, evolved it, and basically replaced our Luxray, so...
Probably for the best, yeah.
And what I have done in between parts is I took Flame's advice and I used all the grit gravel and whatnot we had to boost Typhlosion, Sylveon, and Curlier, since we're planning on using Gallade and whatnot. And if we go into their summary over here, you will see, if I can find the correct bloody page, there we go, there's yellow things around their, like, attack, HP values, etc. That's the EVs that have been boosted and whatnot. And basically, if you go to your ranch, or whatever it's called, and you release a bunch of Pokemon at once, you will get a bunch of grit gravel, pebbles, etc., which you can use to boost your Pokemon. And if you've been, taking a bunch of KOs in the wild, it's probably best to do that before you head out into the mid-game and such.
Yeah, you do hit a point where you kind of have to, because we've seen already during the playthrough that wild Pokemon hit a lot harder in this game than they do in the main series games, so you do need to be prepared stats-wise, and I like that it's made it more accessible, because that simplifies it while encouraging people who usually wouldn't think too much about their Pokemon stats into thinking about their Pokemon stats.
It's nice in some ways that they've toned it down a bit, but it's like you were mentioning with the shiny stuff, Flame. I guess there's a certain satisfaction lost in the translation to making it more casual, but am I really going to be standing for the people who want to spend hours grinding single Pokemon to raise those values? Jury's out on that one.
Well, see, the thing with that is when it comes to your Pokemon stats, I would say that's something different to the shiny rates thing, purely because if you want to play Pokemon more so in terms of the multiplayer games than this, you kind of gonna want to, you're gonna have to do this to stand a chance. So, yeah, if you want to simplify it so people don't have to grind from... or get the one item that they might need on a save file. Sort of cut out that sort of shit, because like I've mentioned earlier in the playthrough, we know that a lot of people who play Pokemon multiplayer just inject. So if you make it so they don't have to, that's kind of an improvement for everyone.
I guess so. What's your take on all this malarkey, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much in the same boat as you guys of... It just makes sense for everybody if you just make life so much simpler, because grinding is not an instance of good game design. It's bad game design through and through. So introducing options to remove grinding, in whatever form, are always very much appreciated.
In fairness, it is a lot more complex than that, because when it comes to the single player side of things, there is the idea of balance, and I feel like one thing that RPGs benefit from, as a kind of double-edged sword thing, is that grinding allows the player to have a bit of difficulty control when we're talking about the standard gameplay, because it's either you can learn and put together a strategy and just roar through the game, or if you're having trouble, you can go and grind up a bit and boost your levels, and so it's a bit easier for you. So when it comes down to that, I get it, but yeah, like I say, when it comes to the competitive side of things, it's more the strategy that's the interesting part of that than the actual going and spending ages EV training your Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, I feel like there's also a reason why a lot of online gameplay, a lot of people tend to use, I forget what the current one's called, I think it's Showdown, there's a new one of them every now and then.
Yeah.
People tend to use these simulators rather than the actual games for that. So if the actual games can kind of catch up and Like, you know, you don't want to just hand over all the good shit to players, but if you make it less tedious, then I think people will be more inclined to play the official releases than look elsewhere.
Without a doubt.
I didn't expect a big old philosophical argument here when we started this. I was just going to say, look at how powerful my Pokemon are. Aren't you impressed? I pressed A bunch of times.
I know.
Bear in mind, I am piecing together things that I've read on different threads, so I'm not really bringing anything intellectual here. I could be talking out my arse.
Fair enough.
And to be fair, I'm just sitting here going, oh my god, that Eevee's adorable!
It is pretty cute. We have one ourselves, but we do not have the grains the man is looking for. What we do have, however, and it's something that I spent a little bit of time on in between parts, is the answer to this guy's problem. Why don't we go ahead and show him the bigger Buizel? If I can go ahead and bloody find it. It should be around here somewhere.
Yeah, which one's the big one?
Yes, the biggest Buizel. I'm pretty sure I still have it here.
If you check their summaries, you can see their height. That's 2'8". I think that's the right height, isn't it, Rick?
That would be enough. That would also be enough.
How about the Alpha?
I think that's the one you're after.
There you go. Have a bloody Alpha. It's actually right across the way from the Alpha Floatzel. So, if you want to run back and forth from a Jubilife town to find it, be my guest.
That poor little manlet one. God damn.
So somebody in the comments pointed out that there are certain alphas which will always spawn in specific locations, a la Rapidash, Floatzel, Electivire, Rhyperior, etc. Those ones will always appear in exactly the same locations. But there are a bunch that are random, and I think like Buizel is one of them. It's generally the Pokemon that are more commonly scattered throughout the world that will always be random. The ones that aren't are your sort of specific locations.
Right. So the Rapidash, etc. will always be there.
The Rapidash will always be there. Yeah, the B-Barrel will always be in that location, etc, etc.
I got you, mate, I got you. Now, I believe the dude in the shop wants me to talk to the grumpy old asshole in the basement, so why don't we have a chin wag with him before we move out?
Yeah, you'll need to do this at various periods through the game, and this basically just refreshes the stock, so you get more up-to-date Pokeballs and potions that are just really more level appropriate to where you are in the game.
Oh, those pop pods. Jesus.
Now, I believe you'll be able to find those in the next area we'll be going to, so just bear that in mind. They're pretty easy to find, so it's no biggie, really.
Yes, also, if you don't leave here just yet, you're going to want to pop into the room to the right of Silene.
To the right of Silene, you say?
And speak to Purcell, who's the one who's clearly Nurse Joy, but also Mai, or whatever the hell she was called.
Mira.
Yeah, I see her. The chick with the, what is it, Bronzong?
I don't think so. She had the Kadabra, I think.
Ah, okay, right. I knew it was a psychic type, I wasn't exactly sure which one it was.
Yeah, she was in Wayward Cave in Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, and she was in the main part of Wayward Cave that you can actually see, not the cool part of Wayward Cave that's hidden under the bicycle route that you have to just know is there, but it's worth going into because that's where you get the Gibble in that game.
Yes.
We're going to take this poison and inject it directly into the patients. This will work out very well.
This is how medicine and whatnot worked in, pre-guinea pig era. You gotta test it on humans. There's no point testing it on a wolf. It's not domesticated. I know science. I know a little bit of history. Combine the two and I know fuck all. No worries, I have poison for that.
I mean, the thing is that this is ultimately how poisons kind of do work, is the way that you create antidotes is usually by having the actual poison itself and kind of doing some stuff to it.
Yeah, that's very much simplifying the process. We do some stuff, but even then, it's like you build up immunities to things by having exposure to a small amount of it. You don't just have a Krogunk just like inject it into you.
Yes.
There's a bit of a difference there.
Oh hey, I didn't actually think we were going to see you again.
The characters are recurring characters for the most part. There's not really anyone who's just does their thing and then fucks off.
Most of them do turn up again at some point. Most of the wardens, kind of, you probably don't see them necessarily as much as, obviously, the people around town, but that's mostly because they're busy standing protecting their noble Pokemon.
Right.
But they will recur. I think it's one of the things that people have brought up quite a lot about the cast of Pokemon Legends Arceus, is that because it is on the whole a much smaller cast of characters in comparison to the, you know, the sprawling worlds of all other Pokemon games, even if they are sort of obviously limited in scope, it allows you to get to know each of the individual characters a lot more.
Yeah.
As you go. So even the characters that you don't necessarily spend a huge amount of time with, you still know them a lot more than you would basically any other character in any other Pokemon game. I mean, they do a lot more than any of the gym leaders ever used to.
Well, the thing with the main series games is that the format and the structure doesn't really lend itself to it that much. Like, in fairness, you had stuff like Sun and Moon, where the different trial captains and that seem to have presence outside of just standing there waiting for battles. And in Black and White, they did sort of give the gym leaders a little bit of prominence in the end game, but there's only so much they can really do there. Whereas, given this is a civilization where there's not that many people around, everyone's gonna know everyone's gonna know everyone else's business, so it just lends itself better to this kind of storytelling.
I think I liked it best in Gen 8, actually. I really liked that cast of gym leaders.
Yeah, that was a strong cast.
There's some that stand out. There's some that I would have to look at pictures to remember who they are, but, you know, I suppose that is a thing with all the gym leader lineups. There's always going to be a couple of standouts, isn't there?
It's also always going to be the case that some are just going to be forgettable. I mean, pretty much I'd say you look at, for me anyway, you get into sort of those middle generations and my brain just goes, I'm sorry, who are you? But that's the same with the Pokemon as well. But I think that is purely just because of, it's how the brain works, and it's when you got into Pokemon. So obviously, I've been into Pokemon since the beginning. Yeah, Gen 1 for the win. I'm not, I promise, I'm not that crazy. Even though obviously it is a favourite generation because of the nostalgia associated with it. But I get to around Gen 4, and then my brain starts to lose focus as to being able to remember any sort of more specifics, because at that point my brain's just so full of all the ones that I've already played that it can't kind of seep in that much more. So Gen 5, 6, 7, 8, my brain starts to get much more hazy when I'm trying to remember Pokemon, gym leaders, other characters, because there's just so much there that even if they are memorable, I'm not going to remember everything.
Yeah, of course. It's Gen 5 there where my knowledge starts to fail me, really.
Same. I would say that the thing with Gen 5 in particular, though, is that that's the generation I think is the most extreme in its differences. It has some absolutely fantastic, among the best designs, and some absolute shit that I'm not going to remember the minute it dies.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it's... Gen 5, I sort of remember probably about half of the cast there, the Pokemon lineup even. Whereas, like, when you get to Gen 6, they didn't introduce quite as many. Look, that Eevee must be fucking terrified. But, like, it's around Gen 6 when that only had a smaller lineup of new Pokemon. So, the highlights from that are, like, I love Lucha, I love, like, Greninja. You know, I've got me favourites there. From Sun and Moon on, it's like, I remember the really good ones. I remember the Turner ones because I don't like them, but it's the mid-tier ones that sort of seep away.
Man, we're being really deep on this recording session. Like, wasn't expecting it. Not against it, but also you kind of putting me on the spot because I've said fuck all I've worked so far.
Well, if it helps, we're like 15 minutes in, so get ready for like 2.5 hours now of me having absolute fuck all.
Yeah, baby. Welcome to Hellfire Coastlands.
Yeah, where we use all of our good commentary up right at the beginning, and then spend the rest of the time just going, there's a Pokemon there, let's go catch it. That's a thing, isn't it?
Oh, come on here, Suey, score some fucking goals!
We go well, and then the caffeine wears off, and then we're dead.
I haven't had any caffeine yet. I woke up from, like, a nap a few hours ago, and honestly, I didn't sleep last night, so it's a miracle I'm awake as I am right now.
That is good. I'm as usual running on. Oh, I've just gone through a day of work and 2 dog walks of an hour each, and I'm just like...
How the fuck do you have that much energy in the day, Rich?
I don't, is the answer.
It always amazes me, because, like, whenever I've been recording, even if it's the only thing I've done that day, it's like, I'm on while we're talking, and then as soon as we stop the call, I just collapse entirely. So whenever I see, like I remember when we had, like, a fucking nearly 4-hour recording session for 3D World, and then Snake just started streaming after the fact. I'm like, how the fuck are you still alive, Snake?
Yeah, Snake's a real one.
He really is, yeah.
I think that would kill me.
Balls.
Yes, Tom, that is what you're throwing.
Oh, funny, funny, funny.
Just fight him.
You want some? God, bugs should not be that size.
Agreed, but also you have to remember that we have that Alpha Lux Ray, and I mean, no creature should be that size.
Oh, we need some nice alpha creepy crawlies around.
Well, no, really what we need is we need an Alpha Warlord.
Oh, God. I did manage to get a Wailord V card from Pack Open the other day, and the Wailords still have their thing going on in the TCG where they have way more health than any other Pokemon, which I like that they've kept that trend going.
Nice. Yes, I see you, Alpha Man, over there, Jesus Christ.
Alpha Drapion.
The Pokemon that isn't a bug type, but somehow ended up being one of the bug type Elite Four members' aces in Diamond and Pearl.
It's Poison Ground, isn't it? Oh, Poison Dark, that's the one.
Which is actually pretty good typing-wise, because then it loses one of Poison's weaknesses in Psychic.
You're gonna regret picking a fight with me. Look at this monster behind me.
This isn't fair!
I'm sorry, this is the wild, mate. Get used to it.
This is one of them nature is cruel kind of situations, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Now that we've done the Ponyta quest, I'm gonna expect to see shinies pop up. hopefully. So if that does happen, I'm going to save. I'm sorry, that's just how it's going to be.
But Tom, that is totally fair and understandable. But also, in my entire run, the only shiny I ever saw was the Ponyta. So
I have been enjoying in a lot of the comments. It seems like each new video we put up, someone mentions, "Oh, and I just caught a shiny one of these," and it's like, yeah, everyone else is getting the luck here.
I mean, to be fair, I think if I sort of went through and actually sort of, tried with it, I'd probably have a bit more luck. But just pure playing, they're still at least rare enough that you aren't going to just randomly come across them easily. But obviously, still, there are ways of making it simpler. And one of my buddies is around here somewhere. If you keep going along the coastline.
Get you some.
Remember, them red things on the floor are what we need for the shop guy, so pick them up as you go past them.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, basically all of the shop quests request a collection of items from the new area that you're going to.
Assuming you actually remember to pick up the quest when you're going to that area, otherwise you're going back through previous ones a little bit lost.
Yeah, but they're usually not that bad. They're quite easy quests in the whole to collect.
You didn't see nothing.
Be careful.
Whose line of sight am I in right now?
It's that Skorupi is just going, "I know you're there."
Come on.
So whilst you're having an interesting time trying to catch Skorupies, I actually sort of finished off my my goal in Legends Arceus. I caught them all.
Oh, nice.
Which was fun, although it did reveal a couple of interesting wrinkles that I hadn't realised about the game, which sort of made it just go, towards the end, but it's sort of more nitpicky elements than anything else.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's going to be interesting to see how we deal with.
So, it's basically that once you've reached a certain point in terms of collecting all of the Pokemon, you get very limited in terms of what's left, and they become more and more difficult to find. The ones that you're going to have the most trouble with are a bunch of the evolutions for Pokemon. So we're talking like Skizor, we're talking Weavile, and Sneasler, who we haven't met yet. Because if you're not lucky enough to find the items just out there in the world, which they are very rare, your only option to getting them is either grinding enough lost satchels to get the merit points to buy them, or praying that they turn up in a time-space distortion,
Right.
which you've got to wait around for because they're random. And you've also got that there are Pokemon that are exclusive to those time-space distortions, so you've got that as well. And just, it all comes together to just go, the end can be a little bit of a grind, more so than it has any right to be, and that, for me, began to sap away some of the fun that I had been having, because then it very much just became like this is becoming more like work now, rather than I'm just having the fun of exploring and catching. And it was just because they were more frustrating to get than they really should have been. And that is a nitpick. It's like, it's oh, boo-hoo. Game take me a while to get the thing that I want right at the end. Poor me. But in terms of just tightening up that pace, it would have been nice and would have been ideal to have that little bit less of a grind in those areas, or better ways of triggering things like the time-space distortions, or particular weather patterns, etc. That would have helped, I think, just make those experiences less frustrating.
I think the fact that the actual end game is tied to that is probably going to make it more prominent of a complaint than it would have otherwise, because people are kind of going to feel like they have to do that, whereas in the other games, like filling up the Pokédex, it's usually been an extra thing. Like for the last 2 games, I think that's just been the shiny charm. So it's the kind of people who would be after that are the kind of people who are okay with that kind of gameplay. Whereas here, it's like, if I just want to see the box legendary, really, if I want to see that Pokemon, I'm going to have to do all this other stuff. So, I know you've been playing it down a bit, but I think that is a valid complaint. But it's one of the things that I'm not sure how else you would necessarily change that, given it is kind of thematically part of the narrative as well. That is the goal of these people here. So unless it was just they let you see Arceus in the story earlier on and then just made the completion goal just an extra thing like the other games, then I suppose that could work, but then it would also undermine the overall narrative as well in this situation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a hard decision to make, and I do kind of sympathise with the devs in that respect.
I think, looking at it, what I probably would have done, if it was me, I would have lowered the overall cost of the merit points required for some of the items, / made the Lost Satchels spawn more regularly, / provide more points for collection. That would be one thing that would have helped. The other thing that I would have done would have been to make sure that you didn't need a specific type of Sneasel to get a specific evolution, because that's not fun. Thank you. Hey, Alpha Walrein, that was my buddy.
I love Walrein, yeah.
Those 2 things individually would have really, really helped just ease that grind at the end.
And I think with the once you get into the post game, it would be nice if there was a way that you could just summon a time-space distortion.
And that.
Because like that, you end up with the Bowser's Fury problem of you need to do a certain thing, but you've got to stand and wait until it shows up.
And it is entirely random. You reset the area by changing the time of day or going to Jubilife and, coming back into an area. And then it is literally random as to whether it's going to turn up within 5 minutes or 40 minutes. And it increases. The likelihood of it appearing increases with each kind of 5 minutes. But it's just no. And on sort of my attempt to try and get the Johto Sneasel that I needed to get my frickin' Weavile, I did end up having to wait the 40 minutes. Obviously, I could have done the resetting, but I'd waited so long at that bloody point that it was just I'm just gonna... I've got to sit through and see this through and pray that I actually get what I want.
Fair enough, mate.
Thankfully, I did, but... Anyway, that's enough moaning from me for today.
Well, I've just got one last thing to add to that, Richie. The other night when I was playing, I randomly got a time-space distortion show up, and I caught about 5 Johto Sneasels.
Yeah, so it's a good job you did whilst you were doing it, because it's one of those things, if you don't know that only Johto Sneasel can evolve into Weavile and only Hisuian Sneasel can evolve into Sneasler, you're probably going to make the same mistake.
And again, because the Hisuian Sneasel don't show up until quite late in the game, it's something you might not necessarily have thought of. You might need to get a bit closer to him.
I know, I'm just trying not to die over here first.
Is that what you're doing? I could have sworn you were just thinking, I'm just going to throw it and miss.
Oh, you're saucy tonight, Rich. Jesus.
Yeah, clearly I don't quite know what's happening.
Fucking bounced off.
It's the thick fat, that's exactly what it is.
Well, it would be, except abilities aren't in this game.
Oh yeah, damn it.
Except the one we all know about. Jesus Christ. Good.
Yep, he's gonna break out. What level is he, do you know?
I want to say he's at least 40.
Well, you can lock onto him now, you're fairly close. And it will say...
Lock onto it. Pressing the lock on button, why isn't it doing it?
Just throw the ball, you'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? Oh yes, level 50, there we go.
Like, if you can survive a blizzard, you could probably paralyse him.
Good point.
Okay, that will slow him down a bit at least.
If you have like a revive or what have you, then that will also help you in the long run.
True that, true that. Holy fuck, I forgot how bulky these guys are. Oh, well, goodbye, Luxray.
Okay, who else can tank a hit?
None of these, but Floatzel's probably less likely to get murdered in the sense of it's not at a type disadvantage in any way of the form.
Your best bet's probably to revive the Luxray and then use a wild charge.
I'm not entirely sure we have any revives, honestly.
If you press up to go to the items menu, there you go. You can only use healing items via that menu.
Ah, okay.
It is one of the quirks, I suppose.
Oh, I got a load of hyper potions as well.
The Moan Train still continues a little bit. It's one of the things that maybe just needs tidying up a little bit for a future iteration, is just the item Pokemon selection during battle can just be a little bit untidy at times for things like that. It's not the end of the world, but still.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing that probably will get cleaned up if there's a sequel, but in fairness, when I go to use items in battle, I always just go into the menu. It's just a force of habit, so it doesn't really affect me as much as it might other people.
Yeah, I mean, I think what I started to do was that if it was a Pokeball, I threw it from the sort of quick menu. If it was anything else, I went into the regular item menu.
Fair enough. Alright, baby, let's go. Great ball. Love the Mets. Wow.
Nice.
Amazing.
Go on, put him in your team. Well, Rain is fantastic, and it's got more coverage than Floatzel.
Okay, Koki. Well, before I do, I want to pick this up, so... I don't need you anymore. Piss off.
Because then you got ice and water coverage rather than just water.
Fuck yeah, buddy. Might as well turn these in. Pretty happy with what we caught there. Nice. I love getting paid for playing games. It's what I do for a living.
I was going to say, you finished that one off yourself there.
Holy fuck, is this a big whale? Well, no, it's a walrus, but whatever. Well, we'll get to rank 5, don't you worry.
Well, you're gonna have to if you want to get to the next area. I think in the end you only need to get up to, I want to say it's rank 6. That's what you need to get to the final location. But everything after that is just a bonus, really.
Where's this fucker at?
probably pasture 1. Yeah. So the way that the pastures work is that it puts it in the closest slot to the start.
Which the boxes work that way in the main games as well. It's just easy to lose track of it in this game in particular because you're going to be releasing a lot of the YouTubes.
I suppose the bone train continues. One of the things that I would have liked to have been maybe a little bit easier to do is just reorganise your boxes in the pastures.
Well, I mean, there is a sort menu, so you can find a particular Pokemon if you are getting stuck with it.
It just would have been nice, because one of the things that you can do with your items is you can do sort of like an automatic sort, and I think in the comment section for like the most recent video as of today that's gone up, somebody was just like, please, for the love of God, sort your bag.
You mean like this? There you go.
So they'll be happy now. It would have been nice if there had been that option in the pasture, just for making life easier. Because obviously you can sort various things in terms of the Pokédex, which is great. So you can do it by alphabetical order, chronological order, by research level, which is obviously very helpful for those people who decide that they want to complete the decks rather than just catching them all. So it would have been nice to have had a way of doing that in the past, because it just would have made things so much easier to find.
Wow, this battle isn't really going well for you, is it, Phil?
No, this is a terrible matchup for him.
Well, at least he has a non-fighting type punching move.
I was gonna say, because, like, the only move he has that affects me at all is not very effective against me, so...
Works out well.
I'm sure if I switched out to Luxray to try and get a Paralyze off, he would push my shit in.
Yeah, that would be where you find out that he knows Earthquake or whatever. Well, we won't know Earthquake because that's not actually in this game, it leaves you in a weird situation where I have a really high level guard jump that is still using Bulldoze.
To be fair, I think the ground move that is the most common is Earth Power.
Well, that's the special kind of equivalent, really, isn't it?
So yeah, that's the one that gets used the most by most Pokemon. But yeah, there are some odd, obviously missing moves like Earthquake, which is a mainstay. But it makes sense, because really, I think we might be destroying the ecosystem if we launched Earthquake every 5 seconds, which is what you would do if you had Earthquake.
It's another one of them things that would be kind of awkward to animate in this kind of environment, because it's as the games become more representative of what's actually happening rather than just being these little abstractions. Things that would work before visually would actually end up becoming quite uncanny valley territory in this sort of setup, and so that's something that they have got to work around.
Seriously, bro, it's not working out.
So let's punch again, maybe this time.
Again, I could switch out to Luxray, I don't want to lose a Pokemon, okay?
That is fair.
I mean, you're not that far away from your camp, to be fair, you know? If you needed to go hill, it's really not that far.
Yeah, fuck it, let's be brave. We're in the wilds out here. We're dressed like a fucking olden times gentleman character. Let's live dangerously.
Yeah, and also if you did agile style rather than strong style, you potentially could have, gotten an extra attack in. But, well, I think you're going to have to throw the ball now, because otherwise he's probably going to knock himself out.
Oh, hang on, no, I do.
That will also work.
Like, that Luxray was just like looking over his shoulder at you, like, really, bro, really?
Go, capture orb!
Hey!
Nice one.
Alright, so that's 3 alphas within the very first part.
It's going well.
Indeedy so, Rich, indeedy so.
Obviously, once again, we're completely ignoring the quest at hand, but that's just how this game rolls.
Man, I am just having fun. End of statement.
I mean, damn you, Tom, for having fun. What's wrong with you? Video games aren't fun, like God.
I know you've been complaining all bloody part.
I know I have, yeah. I'm usually not, well, no, tell a lie, I am usually this moany. It's just maybe not always this much when it comes to Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Well, just as long as you're constructive, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I agree with Flame there. Like, if you're gonna complain, at least try and bring something to the conversation instead of, ooh, it was so bad, ooh.
That is something I've been trying to become conscious of in recent times, because there is a very thin line between being analytical about what you don't like and just bitching, and it is very easy to cross that line without realising, so it's something I'll try to be, at least pay attention to a bit closer these days.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, because otherwise, yeah, you end up with, oh, I hate this area, too much water. And it's just like, dude, like, just get over it. Also, yep, Alpha Octillery.
Hell yeah. Why not? Let's add another alpha to our team here.
Might as well, just get completely overpowered. You probably won't have as much use for this guy as the Walrein, given he doesn't have the extra coverage, but it's still nice to have.
It's all experience points, mate.
And also, you do actually want to try and make sure that you can get an Octillery, or at least a few Octilleries, because there's a quest around completing the Octillery Pokédex.
Nice. Go, Bulkatron.
With all the not very effective moves, but that's not the reason you're here.
Yeah, you're here to be a tank. Okay, maybe if you could do a little bit more than that, that'd be nice.
The same again, but better.
Is that even worth the strong style? Oh, it's got frostbite. Okay, that's something at least.
Son of a bitch.
Ew, it has energy ball. Gross.
I wonder if I could risk a Great Ball now, what do you think?
It's worth a punt.
You should probably start, given it's got the frostbite, which is going to chip away at its health each turn, so you've only got so many attempts now.
Wow. My luck this part is insane.
You say that until you run against a shiny that gives you all kinds of growth.
I know, but...
Use up all your luck now.
Well, no, we all know how that particular situation is going to go down. We're going to see a shiny, and Tom's going to try and catch it, and then it's going to run away, and then we're all going to cry.
But I'm going to save beforehand. Ooh, high horsepower.
Yes, you might want that. That's pretty good.
That is another good one.
Fuck off. Sneaky Pebbles! You are Satan's plaything, and I do not fox with thee.
Although actually, Stealth Rock in this game is pretty good.
Well, it works differently to in the main series, doesn't it? Where it just it like keeps on going between turns.
It's basically more akin to like the fire spins of old. Of you kind of continually hurt the Pokemon because it's got jagged splinters in it. Is the line that they use, rather than it only working when a new Pokemon enters the fray.
Yeah, because like old style Stealth Rock really wouldn't be that useful in this game because like you know like you have got so few trainer battles, and the ones you have like it ain't gonna affect them that much. So like there's a few moves that have been tweaked to varying degrees. Like I know Dragon Claw's got an increased critical chance now and things like that.
See what I can build here.
Not much.
Yeah, gotta do some grinding in the wilds.
Yes, but to be fair, you've got a decent chunk of equipment right now to make some progress.
Yeah, and given you've been catching alphas, you've been getting money from that, which you can then go and buy all the shit anyway, so it's not that big of a deal at this moment in time.
Dollar bills, y'all. I really like this area. I'm a sucker for coastlands.
This area is beautiful and a lot of fun when you can actually get out onto the water.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that.
I wasn't as sold on this right away as I was with the Crimson Mirelands, probably because I'd see, like, yeah, you got the water, but the stuff that's not water is like the grassland again. But then once you get further into it, and you haven't even started to touch upon the more unique landmarks in this area, that's when it really kicks in.
Oh god, yeah. There's some really great different special areas throughout this, and a really nice variety of Pokemon in here as well.
What could be waiting for us at this scenic vista?
Plot.
Well, yeah, but more specifically, whoa, he was like, fuck that. I know when I'm beaten.
I love that Dustox just spawned in as his replacement a few inches in front of your face.
Yeah, it's just like, it's night time now, see you later, suckers!
It's coming in for his shift. Well, whatever, he's mine now, so... Let's make a pact here. If we see any more alphas, I'm just going to ignore them, because I need to move on. I've caught so many. I didn't expect to catch so many.
Yeah, that's it. If we see a shiny alpha, just run past it because we don't have time.
Yeah, there's no time. I simply have no time.
My kids though, right?
My kids. My precious Pokemon kids.
Oh, we're assholes.
I'm starting to think less that I'm an asshole as the years go by, but I'm still not without my flaws.
Hey! Different Burmy.
This is the one we have left, so you might want to get this before he toddles off. I can see why it was trying to like dawdle away though, given our Walrein's tusk is bigger than his entire body.
Oh, look at that lava place in the distance.
We will be going there. You see that mountain in the distance? You can go there!
You actually can, and that's why I love this game.
Honestly, I think that's probably one of the most awesome things about sort of the most recent generations of consoles, is that they have, on the whole, in terms of games, become a lot more willing to let you explore and go to places and only really put things in if you're actually going to be able to get to them, unless it's like fully background. And I think that's just quite awesome.
I feel like we're getting to a point, and again this is going off what I was saying about our games are less abstractions these days and they're more actually representative even of what's happening in the scene.
Yeah.
And that's another thing of like, with older games you could get away with the video game bullshit. You could get away with the obvious bitmap background. You could get away with invisible walls. Whereas if you have that now in modern games, it's just awkward.
Yeah.
So you kind of you can't really do stuff like that. You have to find workarounds that aren't quite as obvious, and that's when you get some of the more clever technical elements coming in, like having your loading thresholds and things like that. I saw that Curlier can evolve, but we're not after Gardevoir, we're after Gallade, so we won't do that just yet.
No, and oh look, there's an alpha. It's an alpha Perugly. Run.
I did say, oh, I can't get any more. I'll have to treat myself to a $10,000 upgrade when I get back.
Well, with the alphas, I think you're allowed one wing ball attempt.
No, we said we were going to run, so we're going to run. Like, I would be judging Tom incredibly harshly if he decided to go back and fight it.
And he can judge. My god, that ass can judge.
Well, I mean, like, Rick should judge you for wasting time. I'll judge you for being a pussy if you don't do it. So it's a losing fight. You just got to pick it for yourself.
Indeed. Oh, hey.
I love these Growliths. They've grown on me a lot since the original reveal. Like, look at them, they're adorable.
They're so goofy. So who is this the ancestor of? My immediate thought upon seeing her in pre-release material, or the links I should say, although I guess that counts as pre-release material, is Diantha.
I get that. So, Polina is one of the few characters that I don't think anybody can really figure out or has really been able to settle on who she is the ancestor of. One thing that I briefly saw today, just whilst we were sort of getting started here, was that her and the other warden in this area together may be the ancestor of Nessa, the water type gym leader from Sword and Shield.
I guess I can kind of see it.
Because she very much has something close to Nessa's eyes, and obviously she has, even though she's, dealing with the fire types, she's got like the swimming goggles, although it's more heat resistant goggles to be fair. And then when you see the other warden, he's got more of Nessa's skin tone and definite water connection. That was something that I've seen as a suggestion. Whether there's any others, I don't know, but that's as close as we can get right now anyway.
Yeah, Sinnoh is pissed. Like, you allowed one of his most noble Pokemon to die. I mean, granted, he wasn't murdered or anything, but you think God differentiates that shit, especially in the Old Testament.
Oh, God, yeah.
Also, can I just say, I love Hisuian Growlithe. It's incredible. It's just a shame that I really don't like the colour palette of Hisuian Arcanine.
The Arcanine's one that's grown on me a lot as well. I admit that it's not quite as strong of a design as the Growlithe, but...
I like the design. I think I just wish that its colour palette was different. I think that is literally it. Also, Tom.
Yes.
Just edge closer to... there you go. Just turn to your right a little bit. Just tilt the camera around. Unknown!
Where?
Just next to your Rhyhorn.
Oh, shit.
So this one you are going to have to get, like, edge towards and, yeah, throw a Pokeball and that'll do it. But that one's a little sneaky.
Very cool.
Yeah.
My very own Puppetron.
If you want more of them, you can find them basically at the edge of this walkway.
Duly noted, Rich. I wasn't ignoring you. I was just making sure that I know what I'm doing.
Make sure you don't accidentally throw your Typhlosion into the sea.
Getting rid of Lucky Loos over here.
That's fair.
Anyway, where were we?
You're mine.
Oh, there's a distortion over there.
Yes. We'll see whether we make it in time.
And that's one thing we got to bear in mind with this fight, in that this Growlithe is rock type now. I saw him try to use Rock Slide on you. So, yeah. It's good that you got him caught before he could pull one of them off.
No worries, mate, no worries. Let's fucking go!
Yeah, just leg it now.
Maximum hyper deer speed. Oh Jesus, what am I pressing?
Maximum hyper deer speed into the switch menu.
Nah, slow down. Deer speed too much.
Well, even walking speed was too much for a minute there.
There it is.
I reckon if you leg it, you might still be able to get in there.
The thing is that it takes them 5 minutes to form. So it is enough time to make it down there in most instances.
I'll come back for that.
Yeah, you will have to come back for that because you cannot get up there right now.
No, you can get up there with Weird Deer. I did it. You could just sort of bluff your way up. You're clearly not meant to, but you can do it.
Dum-de-dum.
Yeah, you just got to be careful not to get too deep into the water when you skim it like that.
I'm going to be able to make it over these plateaus here, right? Oh, A-bomb. Yes, I'm currently in the middle of something here.
I mean, you're going in the right direction for it anyway, so it's all good.
Sure, why not? Just add another plot-centric quest to my thing.
Have you seen the size of my to-do list, lady? I'm kind of busy.
Yeah, hey guys. Yeah. Ooh, I'm excited, but also terrified. Fuck.
And that's why you should be terrified, because, death.
We still haven't died yet, like, properly, so this is pretty cool. It's always good when you don't die.
Kind of ideal.
Why don't I ever think before I say these things? Come on, Tom.
So now, basically, we just have to sit around for a few minutes until it's properly formed.
This is exciting.
It is.
Oh, heard something.
I think the idea is that they're kind of expecting you to take longer to get here, but yes, here we go. The distortion has appeared, and now a bunch of things have landed, so you're going to be able to get all the different coloured shards, which you will need for one of the final quests for the shop. There's an evolution item right there. Oh, it's Magnemite in here. Porygon's in a different area. So yes, it's Magnemite, Magneton, and Magnezone.
Fuck yeah. Love Magnezone.
The exclusive space-time distortion Pokemon in the Cobalt Coastlands region.
You say that Magnezone actually shows up somewhere else in the game.
That is also true.
This game, the way it works is that because there's no sort of breeding mechanics whatsoever, it means that you can sometimes be stuck having the unevolved version of a Pokemon missing, which I don't think Magnezone can breed anyway, but that is something that stands out with certain Pokemon lines.
Yes, definitely.
Let me just go ahead and chuck a few items here that I don't need. Okay, that's for a quest.
Don't need the Castiferns, don't need the Sword Caps. Don't need the Bugwarts.
Bugwarts.
Right at the top. Don't need that thing that you got like 4 of. Oh, is that like the pep-up plant?
Yes.
I think they do come in handy for crafting.
They do come in handy for crafting, but yeah.
Oh, you got an upgrade. That's Porygon's evolution item.
Yeah. Whoa.
So he's chasing you. Oh shit.
Oh, and an Eevee. So you'll also find pretty much all of the evolutions in these as well. So they are a collection item, and you'll also get lots of money items, so star pieces, nuggets, so on and so forth.
That was a bad idea. Why did I do that?
It could have been a worse plan? Because technically you have the right typing for the Mr. Mime, it's just very wrong for the Rhydon.
Nah, mate, I'm good. I can evolve for a Rhydon, so,
You could evolve for a Rhydon, but also this one is much higher level.
It is.
That's probably gonna kill that.
I know.
Now we're just focused on this lad.
That was always my intention.
Rhydon wants that Rowan dead.
It's fixated on using this.
Yeah, so it's like a rollout type move, I believe now.
Well, when in Rome. Hey.
Nice. There you go. Next time you go back to camp, you could sub out your Rhyhorn for that and just skip a load of training stuff up.
For sure. Nothing outside of Pokeballs, sadly.
So yeah, just make sure that you do have a full once-over of the area, and yeah, pick up as many of the shards as you can, because also, obviously, that is free money. And also, yeah, you do want to make sure that you have one of each type. So we've got a blue, we've got a red, so we want to make sure that we have a green. There is your... You have a medium candy that you could use up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. Ooh, a huge nugget. Use on...
Sylveon. Oh, Curlier.
Yeah, Curly is low level right now.
That is true.
Green shard. Stardust. Green shard.
Now, if it could spawn a Dunstone rather than a Sunstone, that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be helpful, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna pick it up anyway.
Yeah, might as well, because you're gonna need it eventually for something, aren't you? Look at Mr. Mime running! That animation's great! And remember, he's blocking your Pokeball, isn't he? That is cool. That's a neat little attention to detail that I like.
You didn't mind your way out of that one, did you?
Broke his way out, mind, but clearly he found the lockpick in there.
Warren just looked away.
It's alright, we'll deal with the Magnemite in a second. This is the guy I want to catch.
You might need to paralyze him or something.
I fear if I use my power, he will go down too soon.
The thing is, if you use an agile style move rather than a strong style, that will generally keep you out of most trouble.
Yeah, but remember, we're nearly 20 levels above him.
Even with that...
If you're gonna attack, I would sub out with something else.
I'll just keep trying my luck with the Great Ball. It is great after all.
Just kill the bloody Magnemite!
I could, but I don't want to. Alright, do this one more time and then we'll get Lux Raider.
Hey!
He knew when to listen.
He knew what was about to come his way.
Now we get to have some fun.
Yeah, go! Bullshit! No more descriptives, no more adjectives. Stay in the ball. Good lad.
It listens.
I know.
Mr. Mime! I have nothing to add to that.
No, neither do I, really.
I think if you keep running around, more and more Pokemon will start spawning in, so you...
Oh, they do?
You can get a bit of variety after a while. Or you can get more Mr. Mimes. Maybe I'm talking out my ass.
Maybe you are, Flame.
you are right. I can't remember whether there's some specificities in terms of whether it limits it slightly. So you get one special spawn and like 3 or 4 like random spawns. But with that, I am fully talking out of my ass. So
I would focus on getting the Eevee, because you are going to need one for every evolution, and yeah.
you are indeed.
True that.
Did a bit of Eevee grinding last time. I got a space-time distortion sharp, because like that's the best time to get them. They don't run away as easily here as they do in the first area.
Definitely, and also most of them are high enough level that you're going to be able to at least use them somewhat to get those levels as you require. You can get the evolutions themselves in these, but obviously we're not having much luck for that here just yet. I don't know whether that is a post-game wrinkle or not. I know one of the post-game wrinkles is that you can get a bunch of the starter Pokemon in these, so that's how you can get multiple, and also obviously shinies of them. The starters are shiny locked. But that is how you would get them.
It just won't take the hint.
Oh, he's so mad. It's okay, he's only acting though.
You can believe that for now if you want.
Get in the fucking ball.
Or you could just murder him.
I could, but I don't have any gasoline on hand.
You have a fire type. Although, to be fair, you'd want to be using Hex. That's what you'd want to be using to take it down.
Alright, I'll try one more Great Ball and then we'll murder the guy.
Awesome.
Richie is very excited about the concept of murder.
Oh, you caught him. Every time!
What is with this game in tonight's session?
Well, don't complain about it.
I'm not, I'm more flabbergasted than anything. I think I'm good on this time-space distortion thing.
Fair play.
You want to go away from that marker if you want to get the new camp.
Ah, okay.
So just follow the coast in the direction that you're heading.
You got it, mate. Whoa. Ooh, fancy.
Just keep going this way, and eventually you will you'll run into the relevant area.
You got a chatter.
Yes, Chatot here, and if you want another unknown, I would have a look around the mast of that ship.
Aha.
There it is.
Give me a sec. The distortion faded. Oh, whoa.
Also, you are going to want to catch that whilst you're here.
Oh my god, there's a lot of them.
And you're also going to want to Duskull, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there's a lot of stuff you're going to want to get here.
Thankfully, the others don't seem to be involved in this fight.
And you got your Luxray out for if you need to paralyze it.
I really like Duskull.
It is a cool design. I like Duskull and I like Dusclops. Not too big on Dusknoir. I think Dusclops is a cooler design on the whole.
I feel like I've got a special affinity to... Well, not affinity, but I really like Dusknoir, in part because of its involvement in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series.
Right in the fucking eye. Okay, fine. Good. Only one in this fight.
It'd just be hell, wouldn't it?
It's okay. I have a less damaging move to myself now.
Tends to help.
It sure does. Yeah, that was raw. Nice.
And then obviously, now for time for the unknown. You don't need to jump onto it, although obviously you can.
Probably will help.
Will help a bit.
Nice.
Yeah, you don't have a jump unless you have weird air.
Yeah. So yeah, so basically just keep running down the beach.
I shall. I know they only wanted 3, but what's the harm in having extras?
Any extras you get, you can flip for money anyway.
I think what you want to do is you want to go into the centre of what is basically this hand.
This is very much reminded me of the coast in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, you got your Lost Sanctuary if you want to check that in.
I shall indeed. Yeah. Richie.
There's 2 Richies there. I mean, neither of them are me because it's the wrong spelling.
Okay.
But I mean, admittedly, I did lose about 3 or 4 satchels, I think, in total on my run. You want to go into the centre of the hand.
The centre of the hand.
If you get your map out,
Alright.
Sans Reach is a hand.
Ah, just here.
Yeah, that's where you want to go.
But there is the spiriting thing on the other finger, so you might want to go there as well.
No worries.
We're just giving you this long jobs list, hope you don't mind.
I gotta think of a way to split this up in post. I gotta be decisive. I gotta be efficient. I gotta be, well, money hungry and cheap, I think. Like, I can't be every positive quality. I gotta throw a few negative ones in there. Alright. To the centre of the hand. Stop splashing. I will get you.
Eventually. Turn around. There you go.
Hey.
So with the Spiritomb Wisps, I think one is something that you can do that I don't think I thought to do at the time, is that it would be recommended to leave a marker on every wisp that you pick up, so that when it comes time to try and find the ones that you're missing, then you know what ones you've collected if you're using a guide. What I think would have been helpful in the long run would have been something akin to like a tracker.
Like an in-game checklist sort of thing, maybe.
Well, in-game checklist, or like Ursaluna's radar for finding wisps. Because there are times where you're just like, I am looking everywhere, I can see everything, and I can't see the damn thing. And it's just because, yeah, it's hiding. I think he might be on one of the fingers.
He's definitely up that end somewhere, I remember.
He's not far from that location.
You'd think you'd be able to see him then.
Well, you'd think so, but I mean, it's the draw distance.
You made the joke I was going to make. I swear if he's in the middle.
This is what I think of you. No, I think it was further back, like over on the right hand side somewhere.
I mean, I can't remember whether it will help, but if you make it the active quest... Just keep going down, you'll see it. There it is. Oh, it's just on her. Oh, right. So yeah, just look around this area. Oh, there he is.
Oh, sweet Jesus, it's talking. Help me.
When you hear some of the things that Chatot like to say online during the DS games, I'm starting to understand why he's scared.
Oh, cool. I missed my chance to get one before, so... This poor bird. Come on. Yeah. My Pokédex is full and my crops are flourishing. However, I could do with more EXP, but I think I'm ahead of the curve right now anyway, so...
You are definitely ahead of the curve.
What we really want is a Dawnstone already.
It's okay, we're playing for the long run here. It's implied that things are happening. What about that white hand on your shoulder? That seems pretty sus. Ooh.
Now you have a chance to heal when you're all the way out here, which is nice.
I can sub in Rhydon as well.
And yeah, these are the only 2 base camps in the area.
Wow.
Well, it's not that big of an area, really, so it's not that big of a deal. And you will get another way of moving around in not that long, so it's not a problem either way.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I don't know whether you have to, but I'd recommend getting your Dusclops into the party.
I don't think you need him there.
Oh, do you not? Oh, that's alright then.
You might want to get some revives as well.
I know. I'm fresh out right now. I'll turn in with Pokemon first.
Yeah, we're just adding to that shopping list, Tom, of everything that you need to do.
$28 of the fuckers. Ooh.
Big total.
Hell yeah. That's a lot of points. Ooh.
Another batch like that and you might be good to go.
Indeedy so.
Well, I think considering the amount of area left that we have, I think we definitely will be good to go.
I'd like to do some shopping, please. And let me sell some stuff while I'm here.
Well, definitely sell the nugget. And definitely sell the Stardust.
Fuck. I always back out instead of going back to the other menu.
So do I.
It's just a quirk. It's just quirky like that. Definitely don't need that many.
Get a bunch of these and maybe some more of the feather balls. Because they're probably the balls that I've been getting the most use out of over the course of the game. Because it makes the stealth so much easier.
Easy come, easy go.
Yeah, no, they went to your storage, so make sure you get them out.
Other items. Healing items. Cannot craft right now. So how do I do this exactly?
Oh, there's the box on the right. There.
I had to look up how to do that, actually.
It's one of those things. If it's not always the clearest, what I'd probably say is put the shards into your item box for now.
Oh, good idea.
The shards, and maybe the spoiled apricons, because you're not going to get any use out of them, really.
You can. They are a good way of throwing enemies off the scent. Also, if you move your upgrade and the sunstone.
Yeah, good idea, mate.
It's right next to the King's Leaf.
Well, it was until I actually did the thing people wanted me to do. Yeah, good stuff. No, you need more, Tom. More. Alright, it's time to actually do a thing and head towards our objective.
Yeah, only an hour and a half after starting the session.
Oh, it's going to be a fun week. Oh.